Hey guys, welcome back. We're getting all adjusted over here on this week's drop. I am Sidney Smith over here with my brother, my co-host,
David Greaves.
What's good, bro?
What's good, sir?
What's happening? We got a fun show.
Yes.
The weird thing about this show, well, before we get to that, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. We are, as of this moment, I last looked, 1,556 subscribers. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for enjoying everything that we're putting up here, from this week's drop to the stand-up to some films and sketches that are up. So appreciate you greatly. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed, if you just finding us, go ahead and click that subscribe button.
Yes. Share, like,
all of that stuff. And when something pops up, give it a look. If you like it, great. If you don't, maybe next week you'll like the next thing that comes up. But go ahead and click that subscribe button. I will be this weekend, Thursday through Sunday, I will be with Adam Ferrara at Desert Ridge Improv here in Phoenix. So you go to my website, Sidney Smith Creative, CRE8TV.com, and get tickets for that. I'll be working out material, getting ready for my specials that I will be shooting 2 of them back to back in November. So come on, check us out. See me do some new stuff.
Yes.
Check out my man, Adam. Super funny. Stan Chen, I believe, is also going to be on with us hosting. Super funny guy too. So it's going to be a great time, great show. You guys should get those tickets and come on out. Also, you can check out my comedy special right here called Misunderstood. That is getting ready to touch 200,000 views. And they are legit views.
Yes.
Just not people just jumping on and leaving. 200,000. And it has been up only for 9 months. So I'm super proud of that. Self-produced. So thank you guys. I appreciate that.
Great show.
Thank you. And I think that's it. What do you have coming up, bro?
We have a women's empowerment class February 1st and CCW on the 8th of February. Excited. We just had a class last Saturday. So doing the thing.
Hey, like I said before, my wife and I took the class. Plenty of our friends have taken the class. This dude and Justin know what they're doing. You're going to get so much information and a lot of experience being able to handle things there. You don't want to miss out on a chance. You can get that website one more time for me.
davidsmark.com.
Right here in Phoenix. So come on out and check that out too. Sorry, everything that we do is based in Phoenix, it seems like right now. But don't worry, we're spreading out.
Yeah, we're going to be around the globe.
Around the globe. Hey, man, I've been looking forward to this show since we said we weren't going to do this type of show. Because Dave and I, as we said before, if you watched us a couple episodes ago, we are politic junkies, news junkies. We enjoy it. We try not to just talk about it. And we were both going to ignore the inauguration if we could. Mm-hmm. But you couldn't.
No, it was like a train wreck. I just was like, I can't watch it. I'm not going to watch it. But I had it on in every room like, oh, man, what? No, they didn't.
I was able to ignore it for the most part, except for when they started showing clips of the speeches that he had given. And I'm like, this dude just does not stop. He has no grace to him at all. Mm-mm. You got the Biden, Kamala. You beat them already, bro. Nah. No grace at all. You were just running that administration in the ground, and he just had tea with you.
Yes. Left you a nice little letter and everything.
Yeah. Oh, that was my favorite part when the reporter asked about the letter. He's like, "What are you up?" He said, "In your desk." Didn't he? Thank you for letting me know. This was I probably would have never found this.
But Obama left one for him. He left one for Biden. So stop.
I don't think he left one for Biden.
My understanding is that he did.
He said he did, but I don't believe him, because if you thought he lost, if you thought you won,
then you wouldn't have wrote a letter.
You didn't even come to the inauguration.
Yes. I don't want to go down that train, because I was reminded how they were dragging Obama's wife, Michelle, about her not coming. Yeah. But he didn't come. Mm-hmm. So the president, it was okay not to come, but the president's wife not showing is a national disgrace.
Well, because, Michelle, this is just like when Obama wore a tan suit.
Yes.
And they lost their mind about this man wearing a tan suit. So I'm not surprised by any of it. But to my point, could not ignore it. So it is on the docket here to talk about some of the stuff.
We're going to hit it around a little bit.
This is where I want to start. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go.
Yes.
This dude has done what I didn't think he would do, but what I hoped he would.
Yes.
He has released all 1,500 of those traitors.
Every last one of them.
Now, he calls them hostages.
Yes.
I call them traitors.
Yes.
You may call them insurrectionists.
Yeah, whatever you want to call them.
I still
they
call them
free.
traitors. And they are out. When I say all of them, I mean all of them who committed violence.
Yes.
You and I were talking about it before. We're talking about the people who were tasing the cop in the neck repeatedly. We're talking about the folks who were slamming the door on the police officer.
And his head in the...
We're talking about the people who were spraying bear spray. We're talking about and the nonviolent perpetrators who were shitting and wiping it on the wall. You got to be a special kind of grown up to do something a second grader would do, which is take your own shit and wipe it on walls.
Of the Capitol.
We're talking about people running through with plastic cuffs, looking for Pelosi and so on. And God help us if they had found them.
Yes.
So let's go. Dave and I have been talking about let y'all get, and when I say y'all, the people who voted for him, let you get everything you got coming. He's talking about we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But
there's so much meat.
Yeah.
We couldn't leave it on the bone. We tried not to.
I wish I had the right sense of music right now because I'd have it planned. Dave, let's start here. Where are you at on the 1,500, again, my word, traitors being released from prison or jail, prison, whatever they're in?
I didn't believe that he would do everybody. Some of the people who trespassed and had little, even them I didn't fully understand, but I knew that he wasn't going to release everybody because for the law enforcement officials that are so, what's the proper word? Dick huggers. Of him.
I feel like you had that one right there on the tip of your tongue.
and then had him release people who assaulted law enforcement people. Because I just was watching this morning the guy who said they tased me 3 times. They assaulted, they beat up. And if you watch it, they beat up and assaulted. They hit people with the barriers and stuff like that.
Yeah, they did.
And for you law enforcement fanatics that saw that go on and then said, well, some of them were misunderstood, like when they had them marching in West Virginia, West Virginia, Virginia, the Tea Party, no.
You about the Proud Boys, Oath Keepers?
When they walked in and ran around with their little Gap shirts on.
Yeah. Oh, you talking about way back. Yeah.
And he said, well, some of them were just misunderstood. Again, some of them were just misunderstood. I guess it was okay. But the rioters who were, marching around their neighborhood, I guess they should all get released.
Which he loves bringing up Seattle. He loves bringing up Seattle. He loves bringing up those things that happened during the Black Lives marches and things of that sort. I don't recall police officers being attacked in a way that we saw. And not only that, this is the first time, this is the closest that I've ever seen him actually come to admitting that the people who were there were his people. Yes. Because before, those weren't his people. No. That was Antifa. Yeah. So if it was Antifa, there's no way he would have released them. This group that's not.
How you do it like this? The emoji?
That's one of my favorite things is from, I think he's passed on, so I'm not trying to disrespect the dead, but from the Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls documentary that the Last Dance. Yes, the dude that kept winning Michael's money, the security dude with the afro, white dude with the afro. And so SNL did like a little spoof on it. Makes me laugh every time. But this is the closest he's ever gotten to admitting that those were his people was by releasing them. Because before, those aren't my people. I didn't see them done it. Those are Antifa. That was the FBI. That was everybody except for who that was. And I'm with you because we talked about this. If you are a lover of the law of law enforcement, if you are someone who wears the uniform and the badge, and you have voted for this man, thought this man wanted to do right by you because he believed in the blue, the women in your wear, he spit in your face.
There's no other way to say, again, if you are a constitutional, law-abiding, law-backing individual, first of all, the convicted felon that you voted for, decided to release the people whom stormed the Capitol
Yeah.
of the United States. And you cannot tell me that they would not have strung up Pelosi,
100%.
Ryan, Pence. If they caught any of those folks, they would not have
been over.
Hung them, murdered them.
You had gallows,
tortured them,
built and put out front.
You can't tell me that they would not have taken it too far.
Yeah.
And I saw a lady on CNN who was part of that, and they asked her, "Would you accept a pardon if he gave it to you?" And she said, "No, I committed an offense. I broke the law." Mm-hmm. And you could say I was just there hanging out, and I didn't know it was going to go that far. Well, when you walked in, you knew you were trespassing. You knew you wasn't supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. When you saw, because again, I watched the police officers getting beaten, punched, dragged, and I saw people look at it and go,
bruh, if you standing outside the Capitol and they're breaking windows and bashing in doors, I don't care if you're just standing there taking a selfie. To me, you are as guilty as the people who are doing the actual actions because you're still standing there. You're being a party to it.
Now to me, it made me say, now you understand about all of those little boys that have been in the car and somebody did something inside and then they pulled off and said, what happened? And they got charged. What accessory to murder, accessory to robbery.
To whatever. Like you and I talked about this. For people, they were just there. They were just walking by. They weren't okay. Well, I've been part of groups where I was just standing there minding my business, and the cops roll up.
Yeah, everybody clear the clock. Everybody got to clear.
For what? I was just standing. You want to go or you want to go? Okay, I'll go. I'll take the walk and walk down. Okay, fine, whatever. Again, that's just the way it's fucking played.
You saw people getting assaulted, law enforcement people. You saw them getting punched and kicked and tased and their guns being pulled off of them.
Yeah. Yeah, taking guns.
And at no point in time did anybody say, hey, stop. Too much. We're going too far. But when the riots in the hood happened and people were saying, hey, calm down. Listen, don't beat up the cops. Don't do none of that. We're about peace. It was the wrong thing to do.
He had helos come out and fly over the top and fly low to get people. Look, taking it from the obvious points that we're making to some of you out there, that the law was disrespected, the law was broken, cops were hurt, very serious ways. The Capitol was ransacked. Take all of that stuff away. For me, and I've talked about this a couple of weeks ago, just posted this clip. See it on the YouTube channel. These are terrorists. Mm-hmm. You're traitors.
Yes.
And I am severe with my opinions on traitors. Those gallows that I would have kept them up. And I would like to see 1,500 people hanging from it. And I don't care if you shit and wiped it on the walls. I don't care if you hurt a cop. I don't care if you were standing there. This would be a deterrent to anyone who thinks you would try this again. Just 1 second. I sat on my couch and watched hours of this footage. Mm-hmm. Hours. And I've never been more embarrassed to be a veteran or a citizen of this country. And my wife would tell you I was in tears as I watched it. Because unlike a lot of people who like to talk about these, I love this country. Mm-hmm.
Greatest country in the world.
Greatest country in the world. I love this country.
Has its flaws, but still the greatest country in the world.
I talk people off the tower since that man got back into office. Just relax. Just take a deep breath. Let's take it day by day. It's not as bad. It's not whatever. Because I love this country and I can't see what other people seem to feel like they see and what's going to happen. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I'm laughing because as you're saying that internally, I'm saying, let's go. Mm-hmm. I'm excited that everybody gets what they got coming to them. I think Malcolm X has a famous quote, the chickens are coming home to roost.
Yes, he does.
This is the chickens coming home to roost. I'm looking forward to the folks that was all gung-ho about how this was going to change, how things were going to get better. For whom? because y'all are going to find out here soon.
Yeah.
Oops. Wait a minute. Us too? Yep.
You too.
Y'all too. I'm you tell me all the time, you're like, man, you really, yes, I'm super excited for folks to get what they got coming to them, because they do not believe that
shit stinks.
Yeah. If it smells like a pig, it squeals like a pig, it's a pig.
How many people have the news been able to find where people have already said, wait a minute, I voted for that, but I didn't know he meant
me too.
Me too, or my family too.
Listen, and some of the executive orders, the first day I ran into somebody, immediately was like, oh, wait a minute. But I didn't think that he was going to do everybody. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody. All of y'all, immigrants.
It is that thing, and this would probably be a theme throughout. This thing will probably be a through line for a couple of these other topics we have. But you and I talked about this before. I can't remember who I heard say it. But the further we move as Black people, we get from the civil rights movement, mm-hmm. the less that seems to affect us, the less that's in the back of our minds, the less we forget, or the more we forget that there was a time where you couldn't live where you live.
Yeah.
I couldn't live where I live.
I couldn't have married my wife.
I was just going to say that. You couldn't be married to who we're married to.
It was 1956 or 60 something because they made a movie on it, which I thought was a really good movie, where he was, I think they were in South Carolina. Mm-hmm. The Goodings, I think is what they're called, or I can't, forgive me for the name of there's a federal case because it was illegal for a Black and a white woman to be married.
Yes.
Or a white woman, because she's Black and he was white. So.
And so the further away we get from it, the less we seem to understand that we are who we are and everyone else is who they are.
Listen.
And so that came up during the election. They started kind of talking about this when they were trying to figure out why so many Black people, not a ton, but why so many Black people voted for. And then they even brought it, why did so many Latinos vote for? And so on, so because you forget.
Yes, y'all are going to realize, I promise you, Latinos, I do not understand, but you will understand. You thought that you wasn't, because your complexion probably was a little lighter, so you forgot. They're going to remind you.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for you to fall back into the place. And then maybe we can actually do a real change that needs to come about.
Well, so, yeah, that's going to come up later. Well,
I'm sorry.
No. I was getting ready to jump. We try to keep some type of format for you guys. So you kind of taking us into our other topic we wanted to get onto. So let's go ahead and get into it, and let's mix it all together. We have to
mash it up.
You're seeing that because Trump signed an executive order to end the 14th Amendment, which is pretty much ending birthright citizenship as his attempt. Now, like I'm sure he and his people knew, and we've seen, everyone's going to take that to court.
Yes.
Because you are now essentially telling us that if your child is born in this country, it is no longer automatically a citizen. Trump's, and we're reading up on it.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to break down what his interpretation of it is.
His interpretation, what they're trying to say is that because their parents were illegally here, that they don't have that right. And this is where they're trying to, again, for everybody whom thought it didn't apply to you, now you see what everybody was warning everybody about.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you might not want to go down that slippery slope because, i.e., abortion. Now it became transes and all of the other things that folk, well, no, that doesn't really, they're not going to go that far with it. Guess what? They went that far.
And so as you were saying, and we kind of started out, and I was going to say this for this one, let's go.
Yeah, yes.
So because we are on that, as you put it perfectly, on that slippery slope, when you start allowing the federal government to take things away from groups of people, or the way Trump likes to see it, I didn't take it. I just gave it to the states. However you want to put it, take that protection away. Now you have opened the door for other things to be taken away. And for the life of me, I would never understand why minorities, and when I say minorities, I mean white women too,
yes,
vote to have things taken away from you. It boggles my mind. Dave, here's something I would throw at you. How many of the Latinos that voted for Trump are probably birthright citizens that if Trump has it his way, he'll deport you, or I shouldn't say deport you, just send you wherever your parents came from? I would love to know that number.
I would love to know that percentage, but I guarantee that just like you said about civil rights, the further you get away from being well, that doesn't apply to me. Oh, wait a minute. The Dreamers, again, the Dreamers were on that borderline of, well, we weren't born here, but this is all I know. So now they were being affected the first time he was in. Now the next effect is, well, my parents brought me here, or I was born here, but they were here illegally. So now all of y'all got to get in the bus and go south.
I think one of the through lines that I was talking about we're going to see is going to be race and classism. Because what I want people to understand, and what a lot of us don't seem to get, and I'm going to repeat this again later in the show too, is that this country is built on a class system.
Yes.
The people who founded this country come from a class system.
Yes.
They brought that here with them. People who are not in a certain tax bracket seem to stay stuck in the race issue. This isn't just a black thing. This isn't just a Latin thing. If you look at it, you will have a better understanding that they don't care what color you are.
No.
They don't care what gender you are.
No.
They don't care where you or your people came from. If you are not above whatever line that they set, then all of us are down here.
And that line that they like to say of, I think it's 500,000 or to 750 has moved.
Further and further away.
Further and further away.
As they have shrunk middle income. What was it? Used to be the phrase that they would use.
Middle America.
Yeah, something along those lines. You guys know what we're talking about.
Yes.
They've shrunk
middle
down,
class.
Middle class. Thank
the
you.
middle class.
Shrunk down the middle class.
Yeah.
And as they've done that, that wealth gap has become greater and greater and greater.
If you think about when the first housing bubble broke, I remember that people started moving into homes next to other people that didn't think that they were going to ever see these people. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, wait a minute. Hey, Pat, who's Jamal over there doing? How did Juan get in the pool area that,
You see it now with people on IG with these videos they pop up making. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm saying to the same thing that just as African Americans have had to understand, the further we got away from slavery, from civil rights, folks have forgotten that you're not but the 14th Amendment away from being to the back of the bus again. And they remind us.
And that's being kind.
Yes.
Because if they take it all the way back, you and I, sir, are
2/3 of a person.
Yes, sir. We
half of a person or something like that.
Working with somebody for free.
Yes.
Because the 14th Amendment, if I read and understood it correctly, was originally to make us a whole human being in this country.
So again, we have this is a repeat cycle for us. So maybe that's why you hear us screaming louder and like, hey, wait a minute. Hispanics, I promise you, I hope that I'm wrong, but I'm excited for everybody to get reminded of why when they say make America great again, it's such an offensive thing to some folks because we're like, great for who? Why? This is the greatest country in the world still has some flaws. And they will put you back in your place and remind you. And I think that some folks didn't think that that was going to be possible, or that the 2025 whole agenda wasn't going to apply to them. It applies to anybody making, I'm going to say 2.5 and less. Mm-hmm. And I said million, and it might blow some of your brains away. Well, no, you ain't really making that much money at 2.5.
It is. I think the other thing, and someone else, I forget, CNN's one of those talking heads made this point, of those folks who voted for Trump because he's going to help my pocketbook. He's going to lower. We already saw him starting to backslide from that after he won the election, where he admitted that he wasn't sure if he could get groceries down. That was going to be a tough thing to do.
Eggs, some eggs was like $45 for eggs.
It was $8 for eggs at the grocery store the other day for a dozen eggs. They were asking.
I bought that big pack and I saw 40 something. I was like, for eggs?
So, look, you would never, and I'm not trying to put this on Trump, but there's no way, if we're talking about a free market society, there's no way for you in DC to put any type of restrictions in to make people charge for their goods what you want them to charge for their goods. The market,
it's socialism,
the market dictates that.
Yes,
and as a capitalist, as a country who believes in free market, to your point, that's socialism, and we don't want any parts of it. No. Even though we have some parts of it inside of our government.
But the price is the price, and I determine what the price is, or you determine what you're going to pay. If you pay what I charge,
yes.
Again, when gas was crazy, I remember being upset about it. Mm-hmm. But everybody was at the gas station.
100%. And that's what we see them do with the gas.
They bring it up, they bring it back down.
They creep it up whenever they feel like it, and they creep it up a little bit more because, they're going to pay that?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and keep on.
When it was almost $5, in everybody except for California, because California was probably like $6, $7 when it was $5 everywhere else. Mm-hmm. We bitched and moaned, but we paid it.
You paid it.
Because you still got to go back and forth to work.
You paid it.
You got to go back and forth. And as we say, the mall is always crowded.
Yeah, we always say that. And restaurants too.
Yes.
So with everything that he talked about and bringing it back to the birthright citizenship and all of the other executive orders, you people, are you seeing any movement that he did anything for your pocketbook? That he did anything for the amount of money that you're able to put on your kitchen table and talk about? I didn't see anything that came out the gates where he showed any concern for the little man. He went out and he took Bolton's Secret Service away right away, even though that man is being threatened by Iran. He went out and he took away the DEI out of the federal government and laid those people off.
No, well, he put them on vacation.
A paid vacation.
A paid vacation.
Which is pretty much...
For how long they're going to get paid.
Thank you. So, how long before Doge says that's wasteful? Elon said that's just wasteful spending out of his Doge office. So all these different things, and we haven't got to everything, but all these different things he did, he signed for. Where were these things that you voted for and you wanted?
Again, I don't think that if Biden was in there, that there would be a drastic change in the prices that we're paying for stuff. So don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing just Trump. I'm just trying to understand why you thought it was going to be so different for you.
Yes.
Than it was for everybody else. Because whatever they do in there affects everybody. And there wasn't much that could be done to affect the prices that we're paying for stuff, and talking about tariffs and again, the executive orders that Sleepy Joe did before he left just baffled me as much as the executive orders that he's done in the first 2 days.
I think Sleepy Joe thought he was going to try to protect some things. And normally I wouldn't call Joe Biden Sleepy Joe. I hadn't for 4 years. The only reason I'm allowing myself to do it right now is because I heard that man a week or so ago in an interview.
He wouldn't have lost.
Say he would have beat.
Yeah. Another thing that irritated. We should have saved that for the. Sometimes you just shut up.
Oh yeah, no comment.
Yeah, no comment.
I mean, when you talk about Biden, and he only saying shit like that only perpetuates what everybody thought about him.
Yes,
and I think people think history is going to see him differently because Trump is in office. I think they will both have their individual tracks.
Yes. And
I think Trump will be seen for what he's
ultimately is.
What he ultimately is. But I also think Biden for everything that he did well. You know how you can do everything right, but you do one thing that's, if it's big enough, you do it wrong, it erases everything. Him and his ego trying to run a second time and allowing for the orange dude to get back in. I think that's going to put a big blemish.
Just like Hillary. She'll always be the one who lost to him.
Yeah, but Hillary was not in a position that Biden was in, where he also said in the same interview, he wasn't sure he could have made it through the second term.
Yes, again, but these are the things that baffle me when I hear I would have beat him, but I don't know if I could have made it all the way. What? Just no comment. Again, no comment. I would think we're going to make a bigger section and just start putting people's faces up. You should have said no comment.
Yeah, 100% should have.
You know. Again, back to the executive orders, and I'm just excited for the people, because I see a lot of faces getting ready to have, when you eat a lemon when you're a little kid, you bite on it. He did what? Because the first day I had people saying, but I didn't think he was going to take away the dreamers, and I didn't think that applied to me. I thought that just meant to those other folks that got here illegally, not me. I didn't think that they were going to stop funding all of the people being able to come in under real visas. Oh, you mean all of us illegals? Yeah, all of you illegals.
Yeah, you see, well, and those that they want to call illegal.
Yes.
Because now he's saying, if you were born from parents who got here illegally, you ain't supposed to be here either. You're illegal and you got to go. Damn your birthright citizenship. That's been in the Constitution.
Yes.
I don't know, since 1856.
Changing, again, the changes that you didn't think applied to you. Well, wait a minute. I thought he was just talking about the new folks who got here. I've been here my whole life. Well, how'd you get here? Well, mom and dad took me here. Oh, and then again, the dreamers who were scared the first time is like, they talking about folks, well, there's some folks are just going back home. Oh, yeah.
Well, if you going after birthright citizenship, dreamers are next.
Dreamers are actually at the front of the bus.
Yeah, but the executive order was for the birthright citizenship.
Yes. But the dreamers, he figured he already got them.
No, but the last time he thought he did, but they protected him.
Yes.
So if birthright citizenship is off the table,
then dreamers is definitely off the table.
You are definitely off the table.
Yes.
And you are next.
So when
and I love the point you're making, because we're saying this as people who are not Latinos, because we know how we speak, and mean black people, where we've been in these conversations. He's not talking about me.
Yeah, okay.
He's talking about them over there.
Yeah. Yes.
And I agree. If you talking about them over there.
Yes.
And then wait a minute, you talking about all of us?
Again, when we talk about how stop and frisk felt being in the inner city.
And you know exactly what that was.
Listen, I've been stopped and frisked many a times. So when they talk about rounding up folks, and the last time that they did something like this was World War II or the Korean War, where they started grouping folks and putting them in camps, and well, we'll figure it out later on. Okay.
And that's what it kind of sounds like they think they're going to do now when they start rounding people up and getting rid of them and that type of. We'll figure it out.
Yes, we'll figure it out later. But right now, we just going to take Jose, Manuel, Paco. Well, he's Cuban. Well, we'll just put him in the same thing.
As always, we want to hear about what you guys have to say. So put in the comments. I really want to hear from anybody who's watching.
An intelligent answer, please. Don't just tell me trumpet.
Yeah. Just don't say Trump. I mean, give us something that we can, because we want to have a conversation a little bit back and forth if we can, if you have the time. We really want to do that. But I really want to hear from somebody who wears the uniform, who wears a badge.
How you feel?
How are you feeling about this man letting 1,500 treasonous people out who attacked your brothers and sisters in blue?
For me.
And you watched it.
Yes.
You could see it.
Yes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I am willing to have a conversation. I'm willing to try and understand, because I know that the person before him as president and the person before him as president had their flaws and made mistakes. I am willing to have if we can start off with the conversation of, this is wrong, I'm willing to talk with you. But if you continue, well, no, he did the right thing. They should have. Oh, okay. It makes it hard for me to have a real civil conversation with somebody who doesn't at least say that's wrong. They should not be out, especially the ones who assaulted police officers.
Yeah.
One dude got like 30 years and he's out. Mm-hmm. So you said it was okay. Mm-hmm. Another thing I saw was that the TikTok thing. I know I'm jumping subjects, but the TikTok thing enraged me because
what TikTok thing?
The Congress voted to ban TikTok.
Okay, that's okay.
And then the Congress is the legislative part, mm-hmm. and then the Supreme Court, which is the judicial part, agreed with them. So 2 out of the 3 said ban them,
and Biden jumped on board and said yeah.
And you started the whole thing rolling, first and foremost.
Trump sure
and
did.
Then now you're saying, well, I won't enforce the law. To hear the president of the United States say he's not going to enforce a law.
But Dave, I'm with you. But here's the thing I would say, and I'm not disagreeing with you. Not only did Trump, and these are not the only 2 examples of this, but these are the ones that come first in my mind. Not only did Trump start this ball rolling about TikTok and China mm-hmm. and all these different things, he also was against crypto.
Yes.
And you can say what you want to say, but this man being around in the public eye for as long as he has, we all can agree on this, and we can't agree on nothing else when it comes to this man. This man loves money.
Yes.
And if you cut him a check, he's on your side.
Yes.
And you'll never get me to believe that there was not something done. Mm. TikTok is still around, at least for 90 days. They're going to see if they can find a way to keep it going. He was against crypto. And now he and his wife have crypto coins that they're selling and things of that sort. So there's not a deal that this man will not make with anybody. Mm-hmm. There's not a ass he won't kiss of anybody if he sees some way that he can collect $1 out of it or get ahead from it. And he's just that way.
Yeah, he's again, or you kiss his ass and say how great he is.
That's
then.
Third, yeah.
He'll even if he didn't like you, then suddenly you're like, you know what? You're not that bad. You know, I actually kind of like this guy. I think we have something in common. Mm-hmm. Again, we have the biggest con artist as a president. We went from the senile old dude to the con artist. Come on, America. I love you, but we gotta do better.
And y'all still only want to talk about Michelle Obama not being there.
Yeah. So, again, he wasn't at the last one.
He wasn't.
The president, every president from before him has done it. Mm-hmm. Even Sleepy Joe was at his.
You know what I like? I like that we ask sometimes for people to do things that we wouldn't do in our own lives. Some of you out here are married to people who can't stand your family.
Yes.
And that person you're
won't
married
go to the cookout, won't go to the Christmas parties, won't go to your mama's house, and won't drop the kids off.
And you make all kind of excuses for that. But you expect for this man. And then the Kamala thing, that she won't show his wife and kids around. You call the woman all kind of names.
Yeah.
Says she was an idiot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't show your kids. Here's a map. Figure it out.
Listen, the staff will tell you where everything is.
You never moved into a house before? Figure it out.
Again, the things that I see that people are making big issues about, like I said, baffle me. That you're making a big issue because she didn't come or she won't show him the house. Well, you talked about me like a dog. You lucky I didn't pee in the corner of the house and leave that for you.
But you'll let this man say anything and everything.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
I think we're going to get shirts. We're going to get T-shirts.
You say let's go?
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think I've asked Jimmy to make us some T-shirts.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
Yes.
Philly fans.
Yes.
Green Bay Packer fans.
Yes.
I wanted to talk about this man to man.
Yeah.
Man to man.
Yes.
Any women out there, obviously I
want your input. I want you to beat up the comments after this and
100%.
Let us know what you think about
100%.
this.
If I can make sure I make a note here of when this part of the conversation started. 39, 30. Look. So I saw during the playoffs, this is 2 weeks ago, that while the Green Bay Packers were playing in Philadelphia, And we all know, if you've been watching football, you know anything about Philly fans, especially the football fans. I think
yes.
mostly, right?
Yes.
I believe,
all Philly fans.
All Philly fans?
All Philly fans. Okay. Listen, be careful.
The stories I have, I wanted to share real quick. If you haven't heard them, are about football fans. The one where the Philly fans booed Santa Claus at the stadium. And then the other one was where Michael Irvin got hurt, and they cheered.
Clapped. Yeah.
They cheered and clapped.
Yes.
When he was being
then you got to stand an ovation because he was hurt.
Yes. So these people are something else in terms of fandom. And so it's like these people were up in some pretty high seats at a playoff game. I'm sure they paid a pretty penny for it.
Yeah, it was a playoff game, so you know.
But there's a young couple, Green Bay Packer fans at the game, surrounded by Philly fans. And there's one belligerent fan, older than they are, and he's just screaming in the face of the young lady and calling her all kind of names, all kind of bitches, all kind of things.
Yeah, the C word.
He used the C word at her. Now, while all of this is taking place, her fiance is standing there with his phone out, recording the whole thing. Now, he runs some type of Green Bay Packer, I think it's an independent website, but a Green Bay Packer website, fan pack website.
Something like that.
Uploads it. The Philly fan ends up getting banned for life from the stadium.
Good job.
And then he also lost his job.
Good job.
Now, when I saw this, and I was laying in the bed watching some YouTube, I got out of bed and found my wife and told her about it. And I said, look here, if ever something like this ever happens, I need you to get us as liquid as possible.
Yes.
Because I am going to jail. There will be no website uploads. There will be nothing. Now, before I let you go, I do want to say this. She does say in the middle of the interview that she did not want him to get into a fight with this guy or something because they were surrounded by Philly fans. Well, sister, I got to tell you, that's just an ass whooping I would have had to take.
Listen.
I'm going to throw it to you, bro. Where were you at?
First of all, I'm not going to Philly and wear another uniform besides the Philly thing because
you're asking.
It's like Raiders and Philly fans. You're asking for it. But you might have been able to get away with screaming and yelling from back there and me not doing anything.
He's one seat behind.
But you definitely would not have been able to get away with the C word without my wife hooking off on you, let alone me. I would have just had to take a beating, bro. Listen, she would have been dragging me out of the stadium. Please don't. And I would have been foaming like a rabid dog trying to get to this dude.
Yeah.
But again, everybody that was sitting around that was allowing this to go on, have we lost the capacity to, again, you could have said, your team sucks and all the rest of this. And that would have been okay. I wore a different jersey. And if I know if we would have won, I'm going to talk smack. So we could have talked smack. But
there's a way to do it.
Yes. You berating me and my wife and calling her ugly and calling her out of her name. Listen, there is no way on God's green earth that I would have just, listen, we would have had to go at it. They would have jumped me and I might have lost everything. But him losing his job, good job. Yep. Yes. Again, I think more and more people need to be held accountable for the dumb stuff you do.
He said, he made a statement, which was, this is after he lost his job.
I bet.
I'm so sorry about what you guys saw.
Yeah.
This is not the type of person I am.
Yes, it is.
Which was, he was going okay. It was the usual apology.
PR, yeah.
But then he added in, but hey, this video does not show the entire context of what happened, as if to almost say there were some things you guys didn't see.
Yeah. She caused this.
She's a female, bruh.
Yeah.
You are leaning over. If you do want to do it, I didn't see you lean over to the fiance, to the boyfriend. All I saw was you lean over her shoulder.
Yeah. He's
standing right next to her.
Yeah.
Take that trash that way then.
There you go. Impress me. That's my thing. Again, you want to be a tough dude? Bring it.
I just have you and I both, we have no tolerance for men who bully.
Zero.
And definitely men who want to bully women.
I couldn't have stood, even as a Philly fan, To see this dude scream and yell at her, yo, my man, that's a female, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
What are you doing? Stop.
100%.
Enough. Just sit back and say whatever you got to say. Now, if she would have spit on him or slapped him, then again, that changes stuff. But I didn't see or hear anything about her doing anything. And again, I'm glad you lost your job. I'm glad you're banned from the stadium. More people need to understand that. Again, I keep saying we need to get the punch in the mouth back as part of the American way. You say some dumb stuff, you get punched in your mouth, and you can't call the cops, you can't sue. You said it, you had it coming.
This is a old school Western.
Yeah. It keep everybody in check. It used to keep everybody in, because now we got Facebook gangsters and Instagram gangsters and podcasters that want to come out and say this but don't want to pay the price when they see, oh, I didn't say that. I didn't mean it like that. Yes, you did.
I don't mind that. We take it back to your Wild West there in terms of, bro, you can get squared up and punched right in the face. Or if we have a problem, we can square up and just figure it out.
Yeah, again, winner take all. Because if you win, then I have to shut up and I have to fall into place.
The great thing about that, because you make a great point, the great thing about that was if you wasn't man enough to take an ass whooping, you were quiet.
Yes.
Or you said that shit in your house when you got home.
And again, as her man, bruh, stop.
Can't let that happen.
Yeah. Listen, fiance, it's over with, bro.
You got it, bro.
We're done. I'm not.
I don't know a woman that wouldn't have left you.
You must have paid. You must have had her ID so she couldn't get back on the plane.
Thanks for uploading that, but I'm packing my shit and getting out. Or if you're at her house, pack your shit and get out.
I hope he got a bunch of views for it so he can, maybe get a big ring for her or something.
It is. Again, everything that we said and everything you said, I agree with. Just the first thing that came to my mind, and probably because of the way my brain works and the way I was raised, was ain't no dude yelling in my wife's face, in my lady's face, bro.
First of all, just the comments. I don't care if he was back in the back making comments. If he would have said the C word, I would have stood up and turned, and it would have been on sight.
Bro, I'm coming for you. But you right here over my shoulder.
Now you yelling at my wife? At my what?
Now,
I can't even yell at my wife.
I know it. He ain't lying. Yeah. And to be fair to, I don't know who it was. They were just off camera. There was one Philly fan that seemed like when he was leaned over, because he was leaning over, yelling over. There was one Philly fan that I could see him just off the camera. See, I couldn't see him, but his arm, he kind of tried to push the dude back, and my man kind of brushed him off and went.
See, I'd have fired off on him too.
And kept wanting to keep going.
Yeah, see. Again, and I'm tired of the half-hearted apology.
Oh, bro.
I'm so tired of folks saying, well, everything wasn't on there and I'm not really like that. Yes, you are. That's what you did. That's what you are. If it wasn't part of you, it would not come out. Mm-hmm. Again, stop anything from her turning around and hawk spitting in his face.
Mm-hmm. Look, we've all, as men, been around a woman, whether it be our wife or girlfriend's friend, whether it be a sister's friend, whether it be just some chick we know because she's in the circle, who you can't stand. No. She gets on your nerves. Yeah. She talks shit every chance she gets. Sometimes she forgets that she's not a man and talks shit. Mm-hmm. We have all walked away. Everybody that I know, everybody that I'm cool with, because that's what you do. Yeah. You don't go back and forth. You don't scream in their face to the point where you're calling names and using the C word. What, you disagree with that?
I've used the C word a couple of times.
No, I'm saying what's just with some chick. Okay.
Again, I talk shit with the best of them. Okay. So if you gonna talk shit, I'm gonna make you stop, or I'm gonna make you swing and cut. I'm gonna make you do something.
Well, let me speak for this half. Yeah. This week's drop. Listen, I've never, ever have gotten to that point. I think the only arguments I've ever really gotten into with someone with a vagina is like my little sister and cousins like that. No. Yeah, I won't get into a yelling match with a woman because there's no victory here.
Yeah, there's no victory. I mean, the victory was making her cry.
That's not
a real victory.
That's not a win.
It was then, but now I'm older, more mature. I'm different. I know. It's not the right thing to do.
Oh God, I hope she's not watching the podcast and sending the comments.
She'd be all right. She learned.
All right, so we're gonna go back on something else. We have some people who look like us who took a lot of heat because some things they did for the Trump inauguration.
Oh, yes.
I should say leading up to the inauguration. Yes. I think they did these at some inaugural balls.
Yes.
It had Snoop Dogg.
Yes.
Rick Ross perform on a show together. We had Nelly perform at something else, a crypto ball, I believe that's what that was called. And they all took
Rick
a lot
Ross
of heat.
Too. Let's not leave Ricky out.
I did. I said Rick Ross on the same show with Snoop, I do believe.
Okay.
And there was some other, I think Soulja Boy also.
I understood Soulja. Well, no, I don't understand Soulja.
I hadn't heard from Soulja Boy. No. I didn't know he was still around. But they took some heat from our community for going to perform. Snoop, I think, took the most heat because the last time Trump won, and I chose not to play the clip.
Yeah.
But he said some things about, let me see, and I'm paraphrasing, let me see which one of y'all gonna perform.
Some uncles.
Who's the
what he called them. He called them uncles.
Yes, he did.
Uncle Snoop.
And called them some jigger somethings, I do believe as well.
Uncle Snoop.
Dave, where are you at? And I haven't heard anything Snoop said at all. I don't know if he made any comments about why he did it or anything. I hadn't heard anything. So if you guys did, let us know about it. Shoot me a link.
I don't want to hear it. Again, we have the right to change our minds. I'm all with it. But Snoop, you was the biggest talker of smack about somebody performing and jumping ship. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear you explain why you jumped ship. And I understand why you jumped ship. I understand that you about making money and you decided that whatever I got to do to make money, I'm going to make money. Mm-hmm. Okay. Not mad at you, sir. Disappointed. Again, if you had a felony and you had to get a gun charge removed or you needed to get something removed from your cases, and maybe that's what you did it for, Snoop, to get some stuff taken off of your record so you could go wherever you wanted. But you was just in the Olympics, so you couldn't have really had nothing that serious on your stuff. Maybe you had something coming. I don't know. But the other people who have performed or stood up there in front next to him all had a reason for it. The only reason that I could see is greenbacks. And you just shouldn't have stood the stance that you had prior to and do a complete 180 and swallow that man the way you did, Snoop.
So to piggyback on your last part of that, I find that one of the greatest desires of people who have power is to make those who were pushing against that power succumb to that power. And
did he?
Whether it be the stories you hear about producers and directors in Hollywood, whether it be Diddy, if you want to use that, whether it be what I'm linking this all to now, which is how bad do you want it?
Mm-hmm. What are you willing to do?
Which is what Pops always says. Pops always says to me, he said, yeah, people can do X, Y, and Z, but you always have to ask them, what are you willing to do, pretty much? And so for him to have a full 180 in a short amount of time, from the first time Trump was in to now, I think it says something also. I think it goes back to, I told you guys before, we're going to talk about through lines. I think this is a through line when it comes to Snoop and Rick Ross. And maybe Nelly too, even though I heard some things about Nelly in terms of why he did it. But where you get so far removed, like you have black people who are upset with them. Like, I can't believe you did that to us. Well, maybe Snoop doesn't see himself anymore as one of you.
What was the other rapper?
Rick Ross, come on.
No, young kid.
J. Cole?
No, he was upset because he didn't get the Super Bowl.
Oh, Lil Wayne.
That said something similar to he doesn't see himself.
Yes, he did.
So maybe Snoop feels that same way.
Lil Wayne says he doesn't see racism. He said that on Undisputed.
Yes.
Because when I come to my concert, there's white kids there, there's whatever. He said, I don't think I don't see it. So, yeah. how could you do this to us? How could this be? How could that be? How could this be? Maybe you're the only one that sees yourself the same line, all the same. And Snoop
Uncle Snoop don't see himself as Uncle Snoop no more. Maybe it's Cousin Snoop.
You know, and you look at where he's gotten to. My mother was talking about this to me last year about where Snoop was, how he was thought about originally, and to where he is now on the Olympics.
Yeah. Sponsoring all different types of things. Yeah.
Doing a show with Martha Stewart and so on and so forth. So I never met the man. I can't say that he sees himself differently. I would love to know why he would do something like this.
I'm looking for the explanation. I'm looking forward to seeing what Snoop's response or answer is on why he doesn't feel like he disappointed folks. Mm-hmm. Again, you have the right to do whatever you want to do. I'm not mad at you for doing it. I think that maybe that's what it is. He forgot. And he needs to be reminded.
Kevin is, and I'm not going to try to quote because I don't have it in front of me, but I'm going to paraphrase. But Kevin has talked about staying away from politics altogether. And Kevin's thought that I heard him share was because he's afraid of it, because he knows they can come get you, shut all your shit down. And so he kind of laughed a little bit. But I believe part of that is what it is for him. The other part of it is I don't think Kevin knows he doesn't want the spotlight. Mm-hmm. People give Michael Jordan grief for never ever.
LeBron,
but
barely.
But LeBron gets credit for a lot of different things because they compare it to Jordan never stepping into it. But I think Jordan never stepped into it for the exact reason why maybe he shouldn't have stepped into it.
Yes. Again, one way, because you stepped so hard one way, and then now you did a complete 180 4 years later.
100%.
We're not talking about a decade to say, oh, okay, this is different, and now I see this.
8 years.
8 years? Is it 8 years?
Yeah. Because we're talking about at the beginning
of Trump's it was the beginning of, yes. So 8 years that you completely did a 180, and you have the right to change your mind. I just would love for you, because Uncle Snoop, you're in front of everybody and you share everything else. Mm-hmm. So I need you to share so that I can have a better understanding of why the hard turn. And I'm not mad if you're a Trump supporter or you're a Trump hater, but you can't go from hating to love without some type of understanding.
You know, the other thing that people were upset about was the songs that he was playing. And he was playing the songs with the N-word in it to a large party of people who we would beat the hell out of if we heard them use that word. Is that, for you, is that a shit cherry on top of this shit sundae, or does it not matter to you? I know it matters to me. It 100% matters to me.
Yes, it does matter.
It matters to me because I, for one, would never let them play that music in front of me. I wouldn't play that song in front of a bunch of them, especially if I'm the only one. I owned a small DJ company at one point, and I DJ'd a ton of things for people who did not look like me. You think I was running out there playing all the uncut hits with the N-word in it for them?
Yeah.
No.
It's sometimes we get a little too comfortable. And I think Snoop this year has gotten more comfortable than he maybe understands. And maybe this will wake him up to understanding that, them same people that love you right now are probably using that word when they describe you or they get into tighter confinements.
Mm-hmm. And he's reported as using that word when people aren't looking. Trump.
Yes. So allegedly.
Not my report. not my report.
You're not alleged again.
Look.
Yes.
Look, I know what generations he's from. But not my report.
And I don't understand that folks do not understand. Like, can we please stop putting 70-year-old men or women in positions of power and still think that they're not of a mindset of 70 years ago?
Mm-hmm. Old mindset.
Please, America, can we get some younger people with some more?
and because he signed that other executive order, we will only be
DEI.
No, not that one. The other one where we will only be. Why can't I think of? I had the same problem on the phone with the conversation with my brother earlier before we started this podcast. We will no longer be showing any love to any other genders. There's male and there's female.
Yeah, y'all next.
That is it.
You're next. And if you think that slippery slope doesn't open up the door for other slippery slopes, women, don't forget that you came after us with getting their ability to vote and getting rights. Don't forget.
Look, we talked about this before, and I talked about this with a lot of folks off pod. The thing that happened when we had this past election and you had abortion rights and Trump on the ballot, people said, ooh, I can keep my abortion rights and vote for Trump at the same time. Never did any of them think, if I put this man back in the White House, he may make a federal ban on my abortion rights. And to your point, you better be careful.
I don't understand how you don't see the correlation to the way that this country runs. We'll do this, and the whole time we're doing that. They do all type. Some celebrity's going to die, and then we're going to bomb somewhere, or money's going to be missing from something.
We'll take our attention away from it.
Yes,
but stuff will still be happening.
Yes,
and by the time it's across the finish line,
then it'll be like, oh well,
oh shit,
they did that. Oh, I didn't know. When did they do that? Again,
for a large part of America, that is exactly how this stuff goes. I'm with you. I'm gonna use a word you used earlier. Disappointed, Snoop. Disappointed in Rick. Disappointed in Soulja Boy, even though I don't know if he's cut anything in a while.
Soulja Boy.
Disappointed in Nelly, and disappointed in the fact that Nelly would sit here and try to say, make all these different defenses of why he did what he did, and I respect the office. We have people who are in the military who have to go fight for this country, who take orders from the president. And so that's not you. You're not in the military.
The premise of, again, I explained to everybody that, yes, he is our president, just like Biden was our president. But the same respect that you show Biden, I guess I should show Trump. No. It's the president, and I get he's the president, and I'm looking forward to the next 4 years of this president.
You could respectfully decline.
Yes.
Too.
Again, you don't have to do coonery, folks. We don't have to be coons. Stop doing coonery stuff. Again, if you wanted to stand with him and I'm a Republican and I voted for this and this is what okay, then stand on that. Don't tell me, well, everybody has their right to do. No, as you say, you're a Republican. Folks got mad at me because I said I might not vote for her. They were like, what? I might not.
Conservative independent.
So, I'm of the philosophy, whatever you want to stand on, stand 10 toes down and don't be wishy-washy with it. You can say I got new information and I changed my thought.
Yeah. I want to know who the event producer and the booker of the show was, because this is, I didn't see any black faces at the RNC convention. So I'm just over here tripping.
Yeah. As to
Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross, y'all had Dana White, Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
Anything else? Anybody you could have had.
They didn't even have what's the Candace?
Candace. I mean, what is going on here? But it is what it is. I guess. I don't know.
And you had, what I think was funny is that you had Rick Ross and Snoop and Soulja Boy and Nelly performing. But you couldn't give them a job. I guess they were the job, the entertainment.
That's it. That's what black people do for them. They entertain, maybe crack a joke if they find one who want to crack some jokes, and help get some black votes, and then exit stage left.
Yeah.
Get your ass
I'll
out.
give you a partner if you give me $1 million. I think it's 1.5 now.
Hey guys, don't forget, I am going to be at Desert Ridge Improv this weekend, Thursday through Sunday, over there with the headliner, Mr. Adam Ferrara, super dope dude to hang out with. Where we're just hanging in the green room. He's such a smart dude, so much good information, and he's super funny. So come check the show out. And one of my favorite guys to work with, too, Stan Chen, will be hitting the stage hosting for the weekend. So it's going to be a fun time. Again, SydneySmithCreative.com. Go ahead and get your tickets.
Yes.
If you saw this and that's what got you to buy tickets, then let me know after one of the nights that you're there. I would love to see you out there.
I might come out Friday, see if I can get out there Friday.
And don't forget, Dave has got classes coming up. Dave, you want to get that one more time?
DavisMark.com. Come on out. February 1st, we have Women's Empowerment. And the 8th, we have CCW Fundamentals.
Don't forget, subscribe and share and all that good stuff. If you enjoyed it, tell a friend. If you hated it, tell somebody anyway. That's what people do when they hate stuff. I hated that.
Comments, share, like.
All that good stuff.
Sponsors, we still looking for y'all too, by the way.
Swoosh, the swoosh, the swoosh. You guys have yourselves a good week.
Yes.